Hello everyone, you know what time it is. It is time to analyze Travis fucking Fowler. That motherfucker. The most memorable thing about Travis is, well, there's two parts. The first part is like, it was my intention to pleasure and get pleasure. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. You talk like a kid, okay? You talk like a retarded kid. Like, it was my intention to eat ice cream. Like, dude, talk normally. Like, what was your intent? If you're gonna confess, do it like an adult. Don't do it like a kid. Don't do it like, I wanted pleasure. Say, I wanted to have sex with her. That's it. Or just don't, better yet, don't say anything. Any kind of sentence that you begin with, I wanted to have sex with the kid, is gonna sound wrong. But when you say it, Travis, somehow it's even weirder. And we also remember Travis in the show. He's the guy who was sitting down, and all of a sudden, he stood up, and he lunged at the decoy. He's like, and then Chris Henson comes, and he's like, oh no! Like, oh no! The next thing to remember about Travis Fowler is that he looks like a spermatozoid. You know, a spermatozoid. Anyway, if you could take like a spermatozoid and put it into human form, well, I guess that's kind of what we do already. But if you could take just the sperm, like just the spermatozoid, and just, I don't know, develop it, it would look somewhat like Travis Fowler. In fact, I'm going to show you right now what I mean. Not to be confused with another Fowler, but if I go, for example, let me find him actually. Travis Fowler, sex offender. I think he got released. And one thing about Travis Fowler, Lauren met him in jail and he said he was a weirdo. And when a weirdo calls you a weirdo, I don't know, it stings twice as bad. Another thing to know, he was rearrested for going to a school and they scanned his driver license. It's like, oh, you're a sex offender. Like, it's pretty weird, but you know, it's the US. They do a witch hunt for child predator. I would say this, I analyzed where he lived already, and maybe he was better off in jail, you know. Maybe he's gonna reoffend just because he was sick of living in his fucking trailer with his minefield. I'm gonna show you the footage real quick. Alright, people. Alright. Look at him and tell me he doesn't look like a spermatozoid. Look at him. Like, he looks like the big head, like he looked like his head, like it was compressed at birth, like the baby's coming out, but he's not going to be coming out fast enough, so the doctor takes some forceps and he pulls, you know, like we have to pull the baby out. He takes like a pincer and he just grabs his hand and he's pulling, like, and that creates a head like deformed like that. But it basically looked like the head of the spermatozoid with the body, you know. It looks insignificant. That's what I mean. It looks dumb. I would say your average sperm is probably smarter than Travis. And I mean, it's pretty obvious that he has some kind of mental issue. I would say he's retarded and he's also a weirdo, but you know, maybe Lauren was right to call him a weirdo. He's a weirdo, like a weirdo square too. But the way he talks, the way he acts, he can work in society, but I would say low IQ. Well, that you could tell just by looking at him, but he's retarded, mentally retarded. Like, if you go onto like spelling bee and you have to choose between Travis, Lauren, and Dustin, commit suicide. But assuming you have to go, you don't want to pick Travis because he's a fucking idiot. He's an idiot, but somehow he has a wife or a girlfriend. I'm not sure I understood his story. We're gonna look at it later. This guy somehow had some semblance of a life. Oh yeah, he was a sex offender too already, of course, you know. That's how it is. And look at him.
Having sex with a minor. Okay.
That's right. He's a convicted sex offender.
He's a bust, Lauren. I want to show you when he stands up to grab the decoy. It's fucking spooky. Like,
I got him to sit in the chair.
Tell me he doesn't look like a big dumbass, you know, a big tall dumbass.
And I was just sitting on the edge of my chair. That's pretty cool, right?
Look at this guy. He looks like somebody took a drill and drilled in his brain. Like, look at this shirt. Food City. What the? He looks. I tell you, he looks so dumb.
And then out of nowhere, he just stood up and started heading towards me. Do you want me to get you something to drink?
Yeah, that is Pokey, you know? Look at his face. A little grin there. And looks at her like, come here, little girl. I'm going to pleasure you forcefully. So anyway, we got the interview. And by we, I mean Tick Sticks. And the Tick Stick got them from Cookie. Now, he used to have more. But yeah, he used to have a lot of videos, but they're gone, which sucks. I don't know where they went, but now he has just a bare minimum. He also removed the Jeremy Todd West video, and that's really bad. Like, that interview was great. We didn't have the footage, just the sound, but Jeremy Todd West is one of the few predators who just didn't take it in silence. He fought back, you know. Like, he really resisted to the interviewer. So I did Dustin already. I did Ball Beaver Hunter. I did Michael Patterson. I did Lorne. I only have Richard Watwood and Fowler left. Like, that's all the men that were cut on this show. I'm thinking really quick. Like, there were 7 men cut on the show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who am I missing? Let's look in time. We have Ball Beaver Hunter. That's him, by the way. He takes a while. That's 1. We have Jeremy Todd West, which we lost. That's 2. That's him. That's that fucker. Look at that ugly piece of shit. If I were the cop, I would have him sit on the ground like you're going to break the chair. We have Lorne, the best. That's 3. Well, yeah. No, at this point he's saying like, what is he saying at this point? Look at this pic. Tell me what he's going to say.
It's supposed to be 13.
Supposed to be 13. Supposed to be 13. We have Dustin McFadas. That's 4. I love you, baby. I want you to be my future wife. We have the 5th, which is... we have 5th, which is him. But now we have Michael, who's the 6th predator. Travis. Okay. So we have 7 of them. The lucky 7, as I call them. That's Dustin McFadas. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Lorne Armstrong, 7 Jeremy Todd West. And the only one I didn't do are Jeremy Todd West, but he's gone. Richard Watwood and Travis Fowler. So I'm going to do Travis Fowler. Thank you, everyone, for having this. Okay.
Where your signature go?
Oh, shit. I'm going to put the headphones so we don't hear in double. And I'm also going to start the video. This is a pretty long interview. It's not the best, but it's still not bad because it's still not as funny because this guy is mentally retarded. And he's just like a shit stain, you know, on the face of society. This is the kind of people that should be gassed, you know, like a gas chamber. You should reopen, like, maybe not call it Treblinka, but we should call it like some other name. And people like him, not because he's retarded, that's okay, because he's mentally challenged. I'm going to be polite for one. He's mentally challenged. He obviously has some difficulties talking and making sense. That's okay. That I don't blame him. It's not his fault. I blame him because he's a child rapist. And that's why we should get rid of him. You know, that's his 3rd offense already. When he got caught at the high school, to me, that's not an offense. Like, you're a sex offender, you go to a school to see, like, the child or your girlfriend receiving an award. To me, that's not a crime. It was still his 3rd offense. Who knows how many kids he has abused already. And don't bring me one of those as the girl fault, blah, blah, blah. He already had sex with a minor once. That was his 2nd time getting caught for it, you know. He probably did it dozens more times. So let's go. Let's analyze the interview. They still have water left, you know. They're going to run out for Justin, but for him, they have water left. And I'm going to call him Rookie Cop because whenever I see a cop that is not wearing beige pants, I think it's a rookie. I never saw this guy before. It looks like, you know, I don't know, it looks a bit like Travis, except the pedo part. Like, same haircut, same height, same face, same facial features. I don't know. I've never seen this guy before. I guess he's a rookie and he's an intern. He's learning. And he's going to have the pleasure to interview Travis Fowler. Let's go. Oh, this is Judy Foster, you know. Like, you remind me of Judy Foster with an extra 50 pounds. I mean. No, seriously, you don't look fat. You look like maybe if you were going to arrest me, I could probably outrun you. Then again, you never know. Some people are big, but they're fast. But you look like very good at interviewing suspect. And if I had to face pedos all day long, I would probably eat to comfort myself. If I had to talk to Travis, I would probably eat myself at night because I would like to forget. And the fact that people like him are not only allowed to exist but live, it shows that God doesn't exist or that God hates us. If I was God, I would have reduced this guy to smithereen like at age 2. I don't know, God works in a mysterious way. He could just wipe him out with a thunderstorm. Like, like there's a thunder directly on him and it fries him and boom, he's gone. But no, of course not. Travis is allowed to live and abuse more kids and ruin more lives. Fuck this guy. According to Lorne, during his time incarcerated, Travis became kind of vegetative, He was unresponsive, he was in a vegetative state, and he had to be taken to the psychiatric ward for most of his sentence. I get it, I get it why you would disconnect from reality. It happens, it's the mental illness, it's not even a dissociative state, it's more like when you become unresponsive, you just don't react to the stuff around you. Somebody could beat you and you wouldn't even react. I don't blame you. I mean, it's probably a normal reaction given that you're a sex offender and you go to jail and all that. But it's still fucking funny.
It's a 1989 Chevy Caprice. What color?
Blue.
4-door?
And he has a very soft voice, but he kind of has a retard voice, Not like Dustin, but he kind of has a, like, I'll tell a story. When I was young, okay, I went to McDonald's. We had only one fast food chain. We had a Burger King, but it sucked. And we have a McDonald's. And we went to the McDonald's, and there was that weird kid, okay? He didn't even work at McDonald's. And he just cleaned the table. That was fucking funny. So you were eating at your table, and he came, and when you were done, he took your tray, and he put it in the trash. And he did that all day, but he didn't even work there. Like, he had no uniform. It was just like you and me. And, it was kind of funny because I live in a small village and everybody knew. I live like in the countryside. Everybody knew everybody. And we knew he was the son of a guy that was like, he worked for the city and he was retarded. He had Down syndrome. And the kid, I don't know, he just went to the McDonald's and that's what he did all day. Like, he cleaned tables, he even took out the trash sometimes. And eventually I'm going ahead of myself here, but eventually the McDonald's did hire him, and now he was an official worker, and he was so happy. But at one point, it was kind of funny, because before that, he was kicked out, okay? He was expelled from the restaurant, and the McDonald's called the police, and they said, we don't want to see him ever again here, and he almost died. He cried all the time, and eventually he did get a job there. But what happened is that he just went to the McDonald's, and that was his way of, I don't know, connecting with people or feeling useful to society or having a purpose. I don't know. But why he was expelled, why he was banned from the McDonald's is that eventually he wouldn't wait for people to finish their meals. He would just grab your plate and throw it out. I witnessed it once. So there was like a guy alone, and he picked his tray, and he went to his table to eat, and then he stood up to get some ketchup, and the little boy with Down syndrome took the tray and threw it out. And the guy was pissed. Holy shit, that was funny. And from what I've been told, sometimes he didn't even wait for you to stand up. You were eating like normally, and he just came and he picked it and he threw it away. And you had to say, like, stop, don't do that, man. But eventually he was fired, expelled, and he was very depressed. He cried. His father went to see the McDonald's. It went in the local newspaper, and some people wanted to start a boycott of McDonald's. So McDonald's hired him, and they probably gave him like $1 an hour or something like that. And it became his official job. And he was actually in charge of the cleaning, but there were a few problems. I don't know if I should say that. It's fucking disgusting. I didn't work for that McDonald's, but I worked for another McDonald's. I actually had moved a little bit. There was a new McDonald's that had opened closer to me, and I worked there. And I still had friends there at that McDonald's because, we were in the same city, grew up together, and they told me that, he was doing the cleaning and he had to do the bathroom cleaning. I think I'm gonna stop here. He did something very, very gross. I'm gonna say it very quickly, but now I'm not laughing. The toilet was blocked, so he picked it with his hands, and he went to put it in the trash bag inside the store, you know, like the trash can. And the shit, oh, that's disgusting. I'm gonna puke. I'm really gonna puke, but I just thought about Lauren, sorry. It had been there for a couple hours, so it smelled like the entire place, and oh shit, I'm gonna stop talking about it. You get the idea. So when I look at Travis like that, the way he talks, it's exactly the way that little guy talk. Maybe with a bit more elocution, you know. He's a bit more articulate than the down kids, but he talked it like that. Very soft, very gentle. That's why he reminds me of the retarded kid. And if I had to choose between the Downs guy or this guy, I would guess this guy. I wouldn't guess the guy with Down syndrome, you know. It's not his fault. I'm not saying we should kill him, not at all. But this guy, we should kill him. Fucking child rapist. We should gas him. That would solve a lot of problems. Alright, let's get going. Is he eating a snack? Like, well, it's lunchtime. No, he's pulling a pen. Sorry.
My name's Catherine Reed.
He looks so pitiful with his hands like that. Like he looks strong as fuck, but according to Lauren, he's very weak physically. He looks like a vulture, you know. He looks like a bad problem. I'm making fun of him because he's not very smart. But looking at the shape of his spine, I think he has some kind of problem, some kind of medical problem. Like the head, it looked like Mr. Burns, you know? Like even Mr. Burns has a better posture than Travis. Like there's a big bump. He looked like a camel, you know?
Agent with the Kentucky Bureau of Investigation. This is
Detective Gaines.
Detective Gaines. He's not a detective, he's a detective. And this is, okay, I can understand. This is a KBI agent. Like, I don't know, the state police. And this guy's a detective, probably for Bowling Green. Detective Gaines. I like his name, you know. It's not Detective Lost, it's Detective Gaines. And he already appears a bit disconnected from what's happening.
Consent now to search your vehicle. Once I complete that, I'll read it to you and give you an opportunity to sign.
Oh, an opportunity. You know, you have the chance to waive your right. How lucky you are, Travis, to have that opportunity. Now she reads it.
Right. 89 Chevy Caprice.
Now she reads it because, honestly, it's very unlikely that this guy knows how to read.
Yes, ma'am. And that is your vehicle.
He's polite.
The one you drove here tonight.
She asked him twice because, you know, that guy is not very quick-witted, you know. Might ask him again, like, what car did you drive tonight? Are you sure? You know.
Sent to Catherine Reed, Agent KBI, Philip Gaines, Warren County Sheriff's Office.
Philip
Gaines. To me
Gaines.
to be an agent of the Office of the Attorney General and to such other officers deemed necessary. I know that
You have to be fucking retarded to sign that, by the way. You gain nothing by signing that. You just waive your rights. I'll never guess why people are so stupid, but whatever.
way, nor have I been promised any favor.
Because if I am ever in that situation, there's no way I'm signing anything. I wouldn't even sign a document that says that I'm going to be paid $1 million because I don't trust them. You know, they're rats, okay? We call the police pigs. I don't like the name pigs because pigs have benefits, you know, like bacon. They make bacon. I call them rats. The police to me are rats. They're going to use, you know, there are some honest police agents. I'm not going to generalize, but most police officer, and I apologize if you're from police, most detectives like that are going to use every single fucking trick in the book to convict you. It doesn't matter to them if you're guilty or not. They don't give a damn if you did it. They just see like, oh, we're going to get an extra conviction. I'm going to get a raise. The problem with police is that it's a business. Like with all the judges and lawyers and prosecutors and all that, it's a business. It's like Microsoft, you know. They want to make money. And the problem with that is that when you want to make money, it becomes tempting to not give a shit about your rights or who you are and if you're guilty or not. Let's face it, the only reason she's reading that is because she has to. She's not reading that because she feels bad for him or she wants that poor man to have a fair trial. She doesn't give a shit about that. She wants to get a confession right now and quit the case. It doesn't matter if he's guilty or not. And that I hate, you know. Think about all the judges earning hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, all the lawyers that come out. Think about the private prison, the for-profit prison. It's a business. It's all about money. The police don't give a damn about justice or equity or fairness or having a fair trial. They want to get as much money as possible, as quickly as possible. And especially the one like the what I call the money cops, the one that give tickets. It's all a bunch of crap. It has nothing to do with security. Speed limits have nothing to do with security, because it's very silly to get pulled over when you're like 10 miles. Like you go on the highway at 65, you go at 75. There's no danger there, okay? It's more dangerous. The arrest is more dangerous. You're more likely to die in prison, because if you're arrested for drugs, than anything else, than the fucking speeding. Police today, and I know it's not everywhere like that, but most places, it's all about money. It's all about filling the jails. It's all about, fucking you over. In some state, they can seize your assets if they suspect that it's drug involved. They can just take your money and keep it, like civil assets for feature. Look, the police are rats, period. So if I was there and I had this agent and she showed me that form, I would spit on it. I would say, fuck you, cunt. Get me a lawyer. That's it. That's it. She's polite with him, but only because she wants a confession. This agent does not give a damn if he's guilty or not. That guy could be Gandhi. Oh, no, not Gandhi, bad example. But he could be completely innocent. She would still try to convict him just because it looks good on her and it's an extra conviction and they're going to get more funding and blah, blah, blah. That's the biggest problem with police. So if I was there, you spit on the form. You say, fuck you, cunt. I don't even care if they beat me. I mean, they're gonna beat you anyway if they're going to beat you. It's a matter of not being a fucking sheep, not being a fucking pawn playing into their shitty game. I don't give a damn if she's angry at me. I mean, I'm angry at her. This one here, at first I thought she was nice, but then I listened to the video with Bald Beaver Hunter, and now I understand she's just like the rest, okay? Doesn't give a damn about your right, about your guilt. It's all a game to her. She's playing Monopoly, and she's gonna lie if she needs to. She's gonna do every dirty trick in the book to get a conviction, and that I don't like. So, at first I thought she was nice and honest. Now I realize she's just like the rest. Well, I just forgot to say about Tick Sticks. I also need to analyze that fucker Jim Rouch. Let's get going. Actually, we're gonna continue in part 2.